Blessed Sabbath, everyone. We have been studying the prophecy of Revelation 13, yeah? And which we saw in the previous study with these 10 horns, yeah? It was a beast which has a body of leopard, 7 heads, one of the 7 heads which was wounded. We saw all that, isn't it? And the crown which was on the 7 heads, the crown which was on the 10 horns instead of the 7 heads. We studied that in Prophecy Revelation 13, isn't it? And we have seen even the activity of the next beast, which is the 2-horned beast there, okay? We saw that that's the time when we are receiving the number 666, when there is enforcement of the laws that were changed by the first beast, right? So this one is the second beast to this one. So when the Bible says we will exercise the image of the first beast, meaning this one, the 2-horned beast, exercising the image of the first beast, which was there in the Dark Ages. You understand? But there is no way we can divorce Revelation 13 from Revelation 17 because they are still talking of the same thing. So today we will go to Revelation 17. Yeah? Revelation 17, verse 1. Can somebody read from me?
Verse 1.
Verse 1, yeah.
And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials,
right,
and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great war that sitteth upon many waters.
Right. So we have the very first introduction to it. Who came? Read from verse 1.
And there came one of the 7 angels,
right,
which had the 7 vials,
right,
and talked with me, saying unto me.
So we are seeing the stage of this incident is the 7 angels with the 7 vials. We know after we receive 666, the next thing are the 7 vials, which is the 7 last plagues, isn't it? Because the next sentence will show that it's after people have already received number 666, where we have the 7 vials, isn't it? Now repeat, go further to it.
Verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
You see, there is a woman who has caused everybody on earth, including the kings of the earth, to commit fornication. This fornication is not the fornication of men and women, but it is an adultery of the doctrines, meaning the doctrines that God did not give have been given by this woman. You understand? Now let's hear.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
Right.
And the inhabitants of the earth have made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Right.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet
this
colored
woman,
beast.
this woman, we have been told, has got a cup, which has wine. And this is the doctrine, which is a false doctrine. Which, when did this false doctrine start? It started right at the beginning with the Cain and Abel, isn't it? Abel had the doctrine from God, yeah, of offering a lamb, isn't it? But who was offering something that is not a lamb is Cain. Do you see where it started? This woman had been making the whole world drunk. Where there was God's religion, this woman was also giving a counterfeit religion. You understand? From Cain. And then next you see Jacob and Esau, isn't it? So Esau had this false doctrine, isn't it? And Cain was, Jacob was the chosen one, isn't it? And even if you go wherever there were prophets, each prophet, like in the time of Elijah, who was ruling? Ahab. And his wife was called Jezebel. Jezebel had prophets of Baal. This woman was still there, isn't it? So this woman is an antichrist gospel. Well, we have a God's gospel on the other hand. We still have a wrong gospel on at a given time. Until this time where we are, we find this woman still there. So anywhere else where we saw a counterfeit religion is this woman. Now we are being told now how this woman is going to be judged. Right, let's read.
So he carried me away
Right.
in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast,
Right.
full of names.
When John was carried into the wilderness, what did John see? A scarlet-colored. You see this beast there? Is a scarlet-colored beast. Yeah? And
I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast,
right?
full of names of blasphemy.
Now, what does this woman have? Names of blasphemy. We studied the other day what blasphemy means. It has something to do with religion. It's a false counterfeit religion. Yeah? Meaning, it's seemingly as a religion of God when it is not. And what, if you want to explain it more clearer, you'll find that blasphemy is where there is a religion which refuses present truth. If you refuse present truth as a religion, you are now having blasphemy. Yeah? And also, where a religion refuses to be rebuked or to be corrected, then it's a blasphemous religion. Because every time we need to have somebody, even in government, what do we have? We have the government ruling, isn't it? And what do the government have? An opposition, isn't it? And a strong government has got a strong opposition. But when religion fails to have correction from somebody to say, no, what you have done is wrong, then they continue as blasphemous. Because we are learners, we continue to learn. When we are learning, we get corrected. But if you refuse to be corrected, then you are blasphemous. You continue with people who pat your back even when you are wrong. So when we want to know the truth, we should continue having somebody who will oppose and say, there, how did you get that one? Here, where is that match? We should have questions to what we practice. If we do not have questions to what we practice, we continue on a wrong note. So here, John is carried into the, where did John go?
Into the wilderness.
Wilderness. Did we see a wilderness before? Yeah. We saw in Revelation 12. Yeah? We saw a woman given eagle's wing to fly into where? And we know exactly where the woman went. Yeah? And that's where all the religions were established, their headquarters. When there was persecution, they fled into the wilderness. For where was the persecution? In Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is not called wilderness. No, it is not called. The Bible doesn't say it's wilderness. It's God's vine, isn't it? But a wilderness is out of Jerusalem, isn't it? So this woman, John was carried where? Into the Gentile lands. Do you understand? That's what the Bible terms wilderness. You understand? So here we are told John was carried into, and what did John see?
A woman
Yeah?
sit upon a scarlet-colored beast,
Right?
full of names of blasphemy,
Right?
having 7 heads
Right.
and 10 horns.
Where did we meet these 7 heads? We met them from Revelation 12, remember? Where the woman had a son. Remember Revelation 12? Yes. We go back to Revelation 12. We saw the woman, which is God's religion, right? Dressed with sun, yeah? Right. So anyway, never mind. I will explain. Don't go to Revelation 12. I will explain. So we saw in Revelation 12 a woman dressed with the sun and the moon under her feet and 12 crowns. And what else did we see? A scarlet-colored dragon. Yeah? With 7 heads, 10 horns. You remember? And now we saw in Revelation 13 these 7 heads into our system. Yeah? And then the 10 horns still into our system. But now with the crowns on the 10 horns. That's one Revelation 13, isn't it? Now here we are still in Revelation 17, where we are seeing the whole of this beast now, you see the beast there, a woman sitting with a glass of wine, yeah? And this woman is sitting on top of a scarlet colored. Now we have to explain what that scarlet means, isn't it? Huh? When you go to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18.
Verse 18.
Yes.
Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet,
Right?
they shall be as white as snow.
So what is the color of sin? Scarlet. So now, John saw in the wilderness, right? The whole of the wilderness.
Yes.
Did you see that here in this one, the leopard-like beast? What does the body what is the body composed of? Dots. The leopard has got dots. Did you see the black dots and the white dots? Meaning the saints were still commingled with those who are going to receive 666. Did you see that?
Yes.
Now, here, this is a beast before a woman sat on it. Do you understand? But here we are seeing the color completely scarlet. What is it? Are the saints still there in this beast? Where are the saints now? They are in the kingdom. It's the time when everybody else is chosen. Those who have chose 666 and those who chose the mark of God, they are no longer together. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's why the beast is now scarlet, the color of sin. So where are the saints at that time? In the kingdom. Do you now believe that when Christ comes, the gathering in of the saints starts when he uses the 144,000 to go into the wilderness or into the Gentile countries to collect all the saints? We saw it in Matthew chapter 25 when Christ came. What happened? Can you read Matthew chapter 25? When the Son of Man shall come, verse 31.
Verse 31.
Yes.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory,
Yeah?
and all the holy angels with him,
Right?
then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Right?
And before him shall be gathered all nations,
Right?
and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats.
So when he comes, we saw it in the previous study, he is coming to establish the kingdom. When he comes to establish the kingdom in Jerusalem, he sends his sin standing on Mount Zion with the 144,000. We have already come from the house of God. Yeah? They are with him to get the marching orders to go back to the wilderness, to the Gentile countries, to now start proclaiming the same message to the people outside the house of God.
Amen.
And when they all receive, those who receive, we saw it in Isaiah chapter 66. When those who receive, let's see, I don't want you to here they are standing, the people have been collected, they are in front of Christ in the kingdom, isn't it? Right? And in Isaiah 66, we see the 144,000 have been sent to, from verse 18.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For I know their thoughts,
Right?
for I know their works and their thoughts, which
Right?
shall come,
Yeah.
that I will gather all nations and tongues,
Mhm.
and they shall come and see my glory.
Right?
And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations.
We saw that the 144,000 escaped the slaughter which was there when the angels were commissioned. Come not near anyone with a mark, but those without a mark go and slay. We saw it in Ezekiel chapter 9, isn't it? So that's what the angels will do. So that the 144,000, because they have a mark, they fled. They escaped. So these are the people say, I will send those that escape where?
To the nations.
To the nations. Where?
To Tarshish.
Tarshish.
To
Pul.
To Lad.
Lad.
That draw the bow to Tabor.
Yeah.
And Javan.
Yeah.
To the isles afar off.
Right.
That have not heard of my fame.
Right.
Neither have seen my glory, and
Yeah.
they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
Where is the gospel going now? To the Gentiles. It's no longer in the house of God at that time. When Christ is standing on Mount Zion, that's where the kingdom is. You understand? And he has sent these which escaped the slaughter back to the wilderness or to the Gentile world to declare the same message which was in the house of God. You understand? How many seals? 3 seals. God, New Jerusalem, a glorious star contained as it early writing, page 15, isn't it? And they go and declare the same message into the Gentile world. And what happens, right?
On Isaiah 66.
Yes.
And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations upon horses,
Right.
and in chariots,
Chariot.
and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord.
That's when they're all gathered to the holy mountain, Jerusalem. Yeah? And where?
As the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord.
Right?
And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith the Lord. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will
Right.
make.
So you see, this is the Gentile world now coming in front of Christ. When he comes, like in Matthew 25, he says, he comes to sit in the throne of his glory. Yeah? And all this Gentile world is now gathered in front of him. And he takes the sheep to the what? To the right hand. The goats to what? What does he say to those in the right hand?
Matthew 25.
Matthew 25, yeah?
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand,
Yeah?
but the goats on the left.
Right?
Then shall the king say unto them on his right, Come, ye
Right.
blessed of my father,
Right?
inherit the kingdom prepared
Where
for you.
where are they supposed to go in? Inherit the kingdom. Where is the kingdom at that time? Where he is standing. Do you understand? So come in and inherit the kingdom. Right?
Prepared for you from
the foundation of the world. So the whole aim of God's coming at that time is to collect all the saints where? To the kingdom. Do you understand? And this is what sets this beast. Where is this beast? In the wilderness. Where is the beast? In the Gentile countries. Did you see that? Where is the beast? In the Gentile world. What is the beast like? Oh, what is the beast? It's the present world. It's the state of the world. It is got people who now only have number 666. Because that's what John said. I saw an angel carrying the 7 vials. So the 666 has been what? Received. So what is the color of the wilderness or of the Gentile world? It will be now scarlet. Did you see? But during our time here, it's not scarlet. It's dotted. That's why in Amos says, I gazed into the world. The saints had already run away. You understand? Where were the saints? They were with Christ in the kingdom in Jerusalem. That's why we saw in Isaiah 66, they were collected where? Into the holy mountain, Jerusalem. That's when we see in Zechariah chapter 8, where people are going from country to country to collect. Let's read and enjoy those prophecies. Yeah.
Verse 20.
Verse 20.
That says the Lord of hosts.
Yeah.
It shall yet come to pass
Right.
that there shall come people,
And
the inhabitants of many cities.
right?
And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another,
Right.
saying, Let us go speedily
Right.
to pray before the Lord,
Right.
and to seek the Lord of hosts.
Right?
I will go also.
I will go also. Do you see? Now it's the Gentile world. Going from city to what? Let's go. The Lord is there in Jerusalem. Let's go. I will go also. Right? And what? Yeah.
Many people.
Many
and
people.
Strong nations.
Shall
Shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem.
You see?
And to pray before the Lord.
Right.
Thus says the Lord of hosts.
Right.
In those days.
It
shall come to pass.
It shall come
that
to
10
pass.
men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations.
Right?
Even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying,
Right.
We will go with you.
Do you see the 144,000 are the ones now, the that have been sent according to Isaiah 66. They've been sent into this world, and they are now called Jews. Yeah? The skirt of a Jew, 10 men. You understand? They get hold. What do they say?
We will go with
We
you.
will go with you.
For we have heard that God is with you.
We heard God is with you. Who is with them in Jerusalem? Christ is standing on Mount Zion. Why Mount Zion? That's the kingly mountain. That's where David's palace was. You understand? That's where the 144,000 are standing to receive the latter rain on the day of Pentecost, and then thereafter sent into all the world to collect. That's why they are sealed. That's why they received the latter rain, to be empowered to go into the Gentile world. But you and I should fortify in these prophecies. If you read Revelation without the kingdom, you won't understand it. The Revelation and Daniel should only be understood. That's why they are talking about the kingdom. When in Daniel chapter 2 says, the days of these kingdom of these 10 toes shall the God of heaven establish the kingdom. So you see, the whole of Daniel is talking about the kingdom. The whole of Revelation we have seen now, we are seeing the scarlet-colored beast is in the wilderness or in the Gentile countries, right? And what is the color of it now? It's scarlet. Yeah? And what is scarlet for? It's now there is a time when they all have received 666. Where there is no type, there is no truth. Did it happen in Egypt? Yes. Did it happen that the Israelites were alone in Goshen? While the Egyptians were alone receiving all those plagues? Is it going to happen when these 7 angels with the 7 vials, what is in Israel? All the saints have been collected. What is in the wilderness or in the Gentile world? They are now ready to receive the 7 last plagues. So you should read the prophecy, intermingling it with all the books of the Bible. You see, Zechariah is talking of a gathering when people will be left away from Jerusalem, and some will be collected to Jerusalem. You understand? And now Revelation is telling us what the state of the world will be like at that time, after the 666 has been what? Received. It will be like what it was in Egypt, where there was Goshen, yeah, and the Egyptians. When the frogs were there, going into their rooms, when the lice, all the plagues which were there, you understand, the water turning into blood. But that was not happening in Goshen.
No.
And this is exactly what will happen. That the 7 last plagues, you read them in Revelation chapter 16, those will not fall in those who are in Jerusalem, in the kingdom. And we'll see. If you want, we can run those 7 last vials on Revelation 16. Let's hear how they are like, right?
Chapter 16, verse 1.
Yes.
And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels,
Right?
Go your ways.
Go your ways.
And pour out the vials of the wrath of God.
Do you see
upon
those
the
vials? That John saw the angels still holding those vials. But now they are being poured. Why? Because the beast now is only scarlet. So if they pour these vials, when the beast is still in our time where it is dotted, the saints are still commingled. So they cannot be poured where the saints are. But now the saints have been taken away and they are in the kingdom. And the beast is remaining with a color of red. 666. Now the vials are poured. Right, listen.
And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth.
Right?
And there fell a noisome and grievous sore.
So you now know where the vials are being poured. In the wilderness. Where the beast is. The scarlet-colored beast. So this is the activity. After this beast, the 2-horned beast, which we saw in Revelation 13, verse 11, has already finished giving people 666. We saw how he gave the people 666, isn't it? Now we are seeing how things will be like after the 666. We are seeing people are separate. Those who are in the wilderness are sinful, 666. You understand? And those who are with Christ on Mount Zion have no 666. You understand? They have received the mark of God. They have overcome the mark of the beast. Yeah? And
there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the man, which had the mark of the beast.
do you see where the vials went? They went exactly to the wilderness, where the color is scarlet. And they never went to any saint. In the kingdom, there was nothing like that. Right?
Yeah. And upon them which worshipped his image.
Right?
And the second angel.
So if you don't believe in the kingdom, if you don't, where will be the saints when these vials are poured by God? Do you think they will be next door? No. Then you say to your next neighbors, what has happened to you? Hey, there's a noisome soul in the house. And then you say, no, I don't have. You think they will be mingled? No. The prophecy doesn't say so. No. It's these vials are poured into those who have received 666. And where are they? In the wilderness. The terminology of the wilderness is not for Jerusalem. It's for the Gentile countries. It actually said he will collect first. He will be collecting. While he is collecting all the saints from the Gentile countries, isn't it? He is taking them to my holy mountain, Jerusalem. That's what the verse said, isn't it? So who remains there? If he remains and receives the mark of the beast, which we said are the times which this man did in dark ages. You remain, you are already receiving his mark. And the mark of the beast starts from the house of God. Because if you are receiving, you are refusing God's times. You are already automatically, whether you don't keep Sunday or you don't keep whatever, or you don't keep whatever was changed in the dark ages, you are not keeping God's times. Automatically, you receive 666. And it starts in the house of God. And when it goes out in the wilderness, the house of God has completely been sealed. If there is a sealing process in the house of God, then those who are receiving that seal and those who are refusing it are receiving something. If you believe, is it the sealing time? Yes. Are we receiving the mark of God? Yes. So what happens to those who are not? They are receiving the 666. But fortunately, we receive while the four winds are. Yeah. So those who are in the house of God are receiving it voluntarily. Yes. Yeah? There is no time of trouble this time. But those who are in the Gentile countries will receive, they will be forced by the time of trouble to receive 666. Because the four winds will be what? Released. You see how terrible? Who is worse off there? The one who receives 666 without any force, any pressure, is worse off than the one who received the 666 with pressure. Do you understand? So here what happens?
And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as blood.
Do you see the vials? This is exactly what happened. If you match them with the vials which happened in Egypt, in Exodus there, you find they all are the same. Where there was a noisome soul, where there was blood, it was there. Where you can match them in your own time. Match the first, second, third, until the seventh. And also go to the vials that are going to be received by those who receive 666. They are still the same. But none of these vials will go to God's saints in the kingdom.
Amen. Amen.
So it's an antitype of Goshen. Because in Goshen, where the Israelites were, they didn't receive these 7 plagues. Yeah? And what?
And as the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, it became as the blood of a dead man.
Right?
And every living soul died in the sea.
Right.
And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood.
Do you see? At that time when the rivers are turned into blood, which rivers, by the way? In the wilderness. You understand? Yeah. None of them in the kingdom will be turned into blood. When they're drinking blood, in the kingdom, they will be drinking clean water. Just as it was there. In the type in Egypt. And what?
And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged us. For they have shed the blood of saints and
Why
prophets.
is the water turned into blood? Because all the prophets which were preaching from the time of Abel, what happened to Abel? He was killed by Cain. And what happened to Jacob? Esau was pursuing Jacob, wanting to kill him. That's what they did throughout the whole history. Anyone sent by God, they kill. They disfellowship. They do everything. Now they will take this blood as water. Right?
For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy.
Right?
Even I heard out of the altar say, even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun.
So you see, these are the vials that the angels are holding. When John saw this scarlet-colored beast, was shown this beast, which was now scarlet-colored, by the angels which had the 7 last vials. So you can read all the vials and finish them in chapter 16. This topic is not for vials. It's the topic for Revelation 17, where we find this scarlet-colored beast. So let's go back to Revelation 17. Right? I want you to start from verse 1 again.
Verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great war that sitteth upon many waters.
Do you see? We have been told by the term here, this woman is sitting upon many waters. But here, when they saw the woman sitting upon the what? The beast. Did you hear the terminology? Yes. But he says, come, I'll show you the judgment of the woman sitting upon many waters. So meaning this woman has got 3 stages. Yes. Let's hear again.
And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great war that sitteth upon many waters.
Yeah.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit unto the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color,
right,
and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of the abominations and the filthiness of her fornication.
Right.
And upon her forehead was written a name, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth.
Right. Now, we have seen, let's go stage by stage. This woman is sitting on 3 stages. Come, I'll show you the judgment of the woman sitting upon many waters. That's the first one. Isn't it? So meaning, if you go to the diagram above there, you find here, this woman sat upon many waters there. So want to interpret what that meant. What are the waters? Go to chapter 17. That's 17 verse 15.
Verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest,
right,
where the war sitteth, are peoples,
right,
multitudes, and nations, and tongues.
Now, there is a time this woman sat upon many waters, which are everybody. Peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues, was ruling the whole world. Where did we see this woman? Here. In the 4th beast. When he was, we remember the 4th beast, we said it was a nondescript beast, which had 2 phases. One, ecclesiastical, is ecclesiastical Rome and papal Rome. Now that woman, meaning the woman there was sitting on many waters. When changing times and laws, everybody was affected. You understand? So what was he? Was ruling the whole world. That's the period this woman was ruling the whole world. So it's just telling us that the same woman is the same one in Revelation 17. Now, and then we saw a period where the woman is sitting on top of the heads. Where? Where is he sitting on top of the heads? In our time. In our time here, we see 7 heads. And we said these 7 heads had names of what? Blasphemy. The woman is sitting on them. If there is blasphemy, who is causing that? It's the woman. Then we saw in the phase of Revelation 17 where the woman is now sitting on the scarlet-colored beast. So it's got 3 phases. Meaning, we want to see when this woman is sitting on the heads, what happened to the 2-horned beast? The 2-horned beast, let's go to Revelation 13, start from verse 14 up to 15. What was happening? Or start from 15.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And he had power to give life.
Right?
Unto the image of the beast.
What did this woman do? Gave life to the image of the first beast of Papa Rome. Of what happened in Dark Ages. That image went to this. Who was doing that? Is the same woman. And that period, that woman is sitting on the 7 heads. Huh?
Yes.
Why? Because this brought back the image of this. What was the image? Of changing times and laws. And what did the woman do? The woman did make the world take 666. Sitting on the religious system. The heads. We're told the heads are what? Go to verse 9. What are heads? Verse 9. What does the head... Chapter 17, verse 9.
Verse 9. And here is the mind, which is wisdom.
Right.
The 7 heads
right.
are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
The Revelation 17 says it's 7 mountains. Go to Micah 4, verse 1. What are mountains? What are mountains? Micah 4, verse 1. What are 7 heads? And we have been told by verse 9 that the heads are mountains. Micah 4, verse 1.
Verse 1.
Yes.
But in the last days,
it
shall come to pass
right?
that the mountain of the house of the Lord.
What is mountain? It's a church, house of God. Isn't it? Mm-hmm. So when we are finding what is a mountain, and we found that it's a church, and we saw that these heads are what? 7. Which is complete religious Christendom. Isn't it? That's what it was. 7. Which is complete, isn't it? So the woman on the time of the number 666 will be sitting on the religious systems, making sure people receive 6, 6, 6. So we saw this woman was sitting on waters where the changing of times and laws. So we saw the waters are the many people, isn't it? And then here we are seeing is sitting on the heads. In the time when the 2-horned beast is giving 6, 6, 6. It's the religious system that will make sure people will not worship according to the times of God. But will receive the times of this woman. Yeah? But we said this woman, this beast on 2-horned beast will have an image of the beast. But what image is it that we are talking about? What image? What was in the Dark Ages? The one who was ruling had a head and a horn. Yes. A head, because there was a mouth speaking things. Here. Mouth speaking things. So the head. But what was there also? The horn. So he had got 2 systems. Was the ruler of the church as well as the ruler of the civil governments, isn't it? Now, this church-state combination is what is a woman. The woman is a combination of church and state. And in other words, what is it called? Mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots. That's what Revelation 17:7. The combination of church and state. And you know now we are talking of church and state, church and state, church and state. But that's where we are going to the two-horned beast, where we have this combination, which was there in the Dark Ages. The combination, it gives to God what is called a woman, making sure people receive 666. It's a combination of the two. That's what is called the image of the first beast. So that the two-horned beast achieves, making sure, verse 15, what does the two-horned beast do? In verse 15, Revelation 13.
To give life
Right.
to the image of the beast.
Right.
That the image of the beast should both speak
Right?
and cause that
Right.
as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right. What will do that? The combination of the two will make sure both speak. Both, the combination of these two, church and state, will make sure they will give pressure to people to receive the times of the Dark Ages. You understand? Uh-huh.
And he causeth all,
Causes all.
both small and
Small,
great.
so it's the system which will cause both small
and great,
and great,
rich and
rich
poor,
and poor,
free and born,
free and
to
bond.
receive a mark in their right hand,
They will receive a mark
or
in their hand,
foreheads,
in their
and
foreheads.
that no man might buy or sell,
No man
save
will
he-
buy or sell.
save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
And what will achieve all this is someone who is the leader of church and also leading in civil will do that. Like it was in the Dark Ages, it was someone with a horn and a head. We said the horn is civil. The head is churches. So we have seen that the churches are head. You understand? And the civil is, but in the time of the two-horned beast, there will be an image of that. What is this image? Or making sure the one who leads the church also leads the states. Huh? Have you heard people talking about council now, council of churches? We are going there. We are going there. Yeah? And then we have one world government. We are going there. So we have the combination of the two together to make sure both all small and great, rich and poor will receive this mark in their foreheads, which is number 666. It's Revelation 17. We are going back to it. Let's go to it. But what is it teaching us? It's teaching us the three phases of the woman. We saw the woman sitting on many waters. And we know it's Dark Ages time. Yeah? He was sitting on waters and people's matches, and he was making sure he rules all. How did he rule all? Because he combined church and state. Now we see in our time in the two-horned beast, where he is sitting now on the churches, on the heads. But there will be a combination also of church and what? Which is the image of the first beast. You get that?
Yeah.
Now, in the scarlet-colored beast, let's go down from that verse, yeah? Mm-hmm.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand,
Right.
full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
That's the doctrine of the Dark Ages. It's now back in the cup. And the system is already arranged of combination of two things, church and state. And I told you the woman is the combination of those two. You understand? And that's the Babylon. Yeah? Uh-huh.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery,
Mystery.
Babylon the Great,
Right?
the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints,
Right?
and with the blood of the martyrs.
So the very system we have been told of the 666, it is the church combination and state, which is the image of the first beast. The very first thing is the one which persecuted the saints in dark ages, and is still going to persecute in the time of trouble, such as never was. It's the very system. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Right?
And with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus.
That's why in the other vial, they will get blood. Water turned into blood. Yeah? Uh-huh.
And when I saw her,
right?
I wondered with admiration.
He says, I wondered with admiration, decked in silver, meaning it will be a system, a rich system. You understand? Yes. Whether you cannot buy or sell, you cannot own anything except you have that mark. Oh, and what is that mark? 666. What is it for? For you to make sure you are keeping all these laws that were changed in the dark ages. That's why the controversy is about the times. And when we ask you, what time is it that you are taking Lord's Supper? What time is it that you are going to a meeting wrong time? Where is your Passover? Where is your Pentecost? Where is your Day of Atonement? Where is your tabernacle? When we ask all these questions, it's the controversy which is in heaven, which is still going for the 666. We are preparing people to withstand, to refuse the mark of the beast. But how many people will receive? The beast was now sitting on a scarlet-colored beast. Scarlet we saw in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18. That scarlet is the color of sin, isn't it? So if it is, though your sins are scarlet, so it means in the wilderness, people will all have received 666. Now they are going to be judged, isn't it? And they are given the 7 last plagues. We saw it. Yeah? Now, for you and I, let's fortify and see exactly what was the controversy. The controversy between God and the devil in heaven was the laws, was the very times. Yes. He knows once you want to attack God, attack him on his laws. Yes. Attack him on his times. Then you for sure you have joined the ranks of Satan. Because he's the one who started attacking him with these times. So he has taken those times he was attacking heaven with and brought them. These are the times that we see now. He paused in the 7 heads, 10 horns. These are the times. We saw it. He was, the dragon is scarlet colored, isn't it? Did you see that in Revelation 12? His color is scarlet also. Read the dragon. Revelation 12. I saw a sign in heaven.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
Yes.
A woman clothed with the sun.
Right.
And the moon under her feet. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Right.
And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon.
Right.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So,
and 7 crowns.
Do you see the color also is red? The same as the beast, which is scarlet colored. Yeah? Yes. That's his color. Yes. In the Bible, isn't it? So now we see this beast is now, but did you see the mystery of it? It still got 7 heads. Yeah. It still got 7 heads. And then it still got 10 horns. Like we saw in our time. They are still there with him in the wilderness. Scarlet colored also. Do you see? Now, in Revelation 17, want to move on now.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with a great admiration.
Right.
And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman.
Right.
The beast
now we have identified the woman. I will tell you, which is this woman? It's the system, this one. The image of the first beast. Of what? Of being ruled by someone who is the leader of churches and also leader of civil, isn't it? To enforce these laws. Yeah? That is the woman. Church and state combination is a woman, isn't it? That's what we are studying. Right? Now we have seen this woman has ruled in that time of the dark ages, where he was sitting, the woman is sitting on many waters. That's dark ages. And on the time of 666 was sitting on the heads. Yeah? On the religious system. And then it's sitting on the scarlet-colored beast where everybody else in the wilderness or in the Gentile countries has received 666. The saints are out. They are in the kingdom. And we have seen how they were collected. We read it, isn't it? Right? So these are the three phases where this woman is sitting. This woman now is controlling this world alone, the wilderness. Right? And
the angel said unto me,
yeah.
Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman,
right?
The beast that carrieth it,
right?
Which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right.
The beast that thou sawest was, and is not,
right?
And shall ascend
out
of the bottomless pit,
right?
And go into perdition.
Right. We are being told about the mystery of the woman. Right? We want to see these technologies. The beast that we saw, the scarlet colored, right? Can you put the screen down? Down again. Down. Right. Is the time when the beast is seen by John in the wilderness. And in the time when people now are receiving the 7 last plagues. When all the saints have been collected to the kingdom. They are not with the beast. He's got only scarlet. No dots, nothing. But still got 7 heads. And the funny part of these 7 heads. Did you see these 7 heads? There's no more wound at all. Did you see? Yeah. We saw the wound was inflicted by Martin Luther and the Reformers. And in our time, we saw that this wound was healed. Now, do you see at that time, before the 7 last plagues, even the wound is not even thought of. It's not there. It's healed completely, because people received those times. No one reforms. They all are together with 666. Did you see that? Yes. And you saw the 10 ones are still there. Yes. Yeah? But this time they are not crowned. I'll show you where they actually should be crowned, because that's the time they will be crowned. But I'll show you what happens to their crowns. Yeah, isn't it? Yes. But they will be crowned for some time. Yeah? But, that's why we should read the prophets. Yes. So this beast there, at that time when it's seen by John, the beast was, right? Repeat the terminology. Uh-huh.
The beast that thou sawest was. And is not. Yes.
Right. When it says was, it was there. Seen by John in the wilderness when everybody has received 666. Was. And
is not.
Is not. Did you see? There is a time now when Christ comes now in the clouds. Just leave it there. When Christ will come in the clouds in Thessalonians. Let's see how he comes. Yes. Because after the seven last plagues, when the vials are about to be poured, Christ is back to heaven. It's back to heaven. Because we see him descending on the last plague, where he says, it is finished, on the 7th plague. It is finished. After the 7, when the earth is receiving the 7 last plagues, Christ is back in heaven. Yes. Yeah? It's only the angels what we see giving those. The saints are in Jerusalem. And the wilderness is receiving the last plagues. But Christ is back. Because he will come with the 7th trumpet, with the 7th last plague. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. Let's hear that.
Verse 16.
Yeah. So you see him coming. Mm-hmm.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God. And the dead in Christ shall rise first.
Right.
Then we, which are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds,
right,
to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we be forever with the Lord.
You see, the saints are taken to heaven. Did you see that? What happens to those who are not saints, who are living? Those who are in the grave, they do not wake up if they are wicked. Did you see those who are rising first are those who are saints? Go to Revelation 20, verse 5.
Verse 5. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection.
The first resurrection, the rest of the dead, they did not live until 1,000 years. So this last beast, the scarlet-colored beast, which is not for those who are dead. The beasts are people, isn't it? That's the people, the current stage of the world. Those who are in the wilderness, what happened when Christ came? 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 8. Chapter 2, verse 8.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Right?
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Right?
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So when Christ comes on Thessalonians, when the saints, those who are waking up from the grave, and those who are living, are caught up in the cloud in heaven, the wicked who are living are killed with the brightness of his coming. Yes. That's what the verse says, isn't it? Yeah. And what happened to those who are in the grave? They don't wake up. Revelation chapter 20 says, blessed and holy is the one who has a part in the first resurrection. Let's go to Revelation 20, verse 5. Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
So these 1,000 years, this is the millennium there. Yeah? The 1,000 years there. This scarlet-colored beast is dead. Is dead. Huh? The scarlet-colored beast is dead. Yeah? Right. Verse 6.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
Right.
On such the second death has no power.
Because all those who came when Christ came in the clouds, you see now, Christ is not stepping on the earth.
No.
But when he came in Revelation, in Daniel chapter 12, as Michael was on the earth, or as in Revelation 14, verse 1, is on Mount Zion. Yes. Or in Matthew chapter 25, verse 31, is sitting on a throne. Or when he is sending in Isaiah chapter 66, sending the escaped ones with 144,000 to the nations to bring the Gentiles, he is where? In Jerusalem. You understand? But this time he's in the cloud. He never stepped on the earth. The saints waking up and the saints who are living catch up in the cloud and be with him. For how many years? 1,000, which is called millennium, which is in Revelation 17, the beast that we saw it was, is not. So where is the beast? Is not, is dead. Did you hear that? The beast is what?
Is dead.
Where is what is happening? What is happening on earth when the saints have gone up in heaven? What is happening? Go to Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 26. 4, verse 26.
Verse 26.
Yes.
I beheld.
And listen, Jeremiah is seeing now the state of the world when the saints are in heaven. What is he seeing? Yeah.
I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness.
Start from verse 25.
Verse 25. I beheld, and lo, there was no man.
There was no man.
And all the beds of the heavens were fled.
Right. At that time, what is on earth? Nothing. Even Jeremiah saw nothing after Christ had come. What was? Even the beds. They had gone. They disappeared. And what did he see?
I beheld, and lo, there was no man.
No man.
And all the beds of the heavens were fled.
Right.
I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness.
Right.
And all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of
What
God.
is Jeremiah seeing? A wilderness. Where the beast was. The fruitful place, what has happened to it?
Was a wilderness.
Was a wilderness.
And all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord by his fierce anger.
So when he came in the clouds, that anger and the saints are rising, and those who are living, what saints are catching up in in the clouds, in the air. Those who were wicked were killed by the brightness of his coming. And those who were in the grave never woke up, were wicked. But what is Jeremiah seeing? Even the birds had fled. What else is he seeing?
And I beheld, and lo, verse 23. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void. And the heavens, they had no light. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and the bed of the heavens were fled.
Right.
I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness.
Right.
And
Verse
all the
28.
cities, verse 28. For this shall the earth mourn,
Right.
and the heavens above be black.
Right.
Because I've spoken it.
It was not what was in the earth? Black. At 1,000 years, the earth was left black. That is the term on Revelation 17 is not. What is on earth? Black. Let's go to Ezekiel 28. Verse 19.
Verse 19. And they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee.
Right?
And shall be a terror. And never shall thou be anymore.
Right?
Again the word of the Lord came unto
Now
me,
it
saying,
says this was a terrible thing. Terror in the coming of Christ. Right? But he was coming now to what? Even John saw, go to chapter Revelation 20. He saw now the earth, as Jeremiah is saying, the earth was now black, dark. What is John seeing? Chapter 20, verse 1.
Verse 1. And I saw an angel came down from heaven.
Right?
Having the key of the bottomless pit.
What was the earth now? A bottomless pit, locked by God. And what does it mean?
And a great chain in his hand.
Right. They went with a chain to who?
And he laid hold on
Right.
the dragon.
The devil himself was also in chain. But it's not the chains as it physically is. He has now been left with no one to deceive.
Yeah.
What has happened to the wicked people? They are dead. What is happening to the earth? No one.
Desolate.
There is no one. It's dark. The beds even, it's a dark world. So it incapacitates the devil never to fool anyone in 1,000 years. Also waiting, because the saints are in heaven for 1,000 years. What for? What are they doing in heaven? Go to verse 13 there. What are the saints in? Okay, finish where you are.
No, sorry. 20 verse 13.
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
And the sea gave up the dead.
Right.
Which
When
were
they were in heaven, they are judging. Did you see where it says books were open? What verse is that?
12.
Verse 12, yeah.
And I saw the dead.
And dead. This is what the saints are doing in heaven. Inspecting the books in heaven. What are they?
And I saw the dead.
Right?
Small and great.
Small
standing
and
before God.
They are standing before God.
And the books were open.
These are, in 1,000 years, this is what the saints will be doing. Checking on the books to see what were the angels who were working with them, writing what he was doing. And even the book for God, which God wrote before the heaven and the earth, before the foundation of the earth was created, of what people were going to do. He saw it and he wrote it with his foreknowledge. And they are inspecting what the angels who were writing when they were working with them, what they wrote, inspecting the books of their beloved ones who are not in heaven. The beloved ones who are now not, who they thought were going to find them in heaven, are not there. And those who are there, who they did not expect them to be there, there will be all this confusion to want to check how did it go. You see, remember Stephen, who was beheaded by Paul. Paul was still fighting the Christians and beheaded Stephen, but later on became the master of the Christians. What will Stephen do in 1,000 years? Inspect to want to see what happened. And Paul will say, that death of yours, it made me become a Christian.
Amen.
This is what the saints will be checking for 1,000 years. You who are here, whatever the angel is writing about you, we will see it. We will see it in heaven. Yeah? Mambo wedu ati kuchitro chake chekudenga atomirase nyimukutongwa zvakaigwa zvichaonekwa apo tapinda pakutongwa mumwoyo tinozviona mambo api apo apinda iwe kuzotita tichamira ona senyi apo. Do you believe this day is coming? Do you believe do you want to be there for the millennium? Do you want to be there? Keep God's laws. Keep the feasts. Keep all these will be fulfilled in the millennium. In this millennium, we'll be checking on records. The people whom we thought were going to be found in heaven, we won't find them. Those we thought were not going to be found there, we will find them. We will be checking what really happened in the books in heaven. There will be judgment. And what happened there?
And I saw the dead.
The dead.
Both small and great.
We will be checking in the books. God will be giving nice videos to see what was happening. Nice videos and audios. Checking to see exactly what they were doing.
And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened.
Right.
And another book was opened, which is the book of life.
Right?
And the dead were judged.
Now another book was opened. Which one then? Is the book of life, the one with 7 seals, which we will be comparing, which God himself wrote before you and I were created, to compare with these books which the angels wrote.
Which is the book of life.
Yes.
And the dead were judged out
Right.
of those things which were written in the books
Right.
according to their works.
Right?
And the sea
The sea
gave up the dead, which
gave
were
up
in
the
it.
dead. You know, I've heard people say, oh, the plane has gone off the radar. Did you hear that? And they search for the plane, they never even find them, isn't it? But wait until we get to that time. We will see what happened. We will see. The sea will just also record who is in the sea, who died in there. Whoever, whether it's someone was burnt or what, will be seen what happened. And there are people with missing relatives who don't even know where they've gone. Wait until that time. You will see what happened. Everything that happened will be exposed. Now,
And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books,
Right.
according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works.
right.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second.
Go back to Revelation 17. Where we were. The beast that I saw was, which is the scarlet colored, was. And we have seen which period. When the whole earth now has received 666 as scarlet. Only the saints in the kingdom did not receive. Right? And was. But this beast is not heaven bound. It was not in the millennium. We have explained how this beast died. All those who received 666, they were dead in the time of 1,000 years.
And the beast which thou sawest was,
Right?
and is not,
Yeah?
and shall ascend
Right.
out of the bottomless pit.
Go to chapter 21. Next. We want to see what happens now. After, can you put this screen down so I can see what happens? You see that beast is coming. Do you see it's coming now up there? Do you see it's coming now? But the saints are still there in the kingdom. The saints are separate from the scarlet colored. Now it's ascending out of the bottomless pit. Where we said the earth was remaining in the bottom. Why Why is it bottomless pit? It's just an expression to show that the earth is nobody.
Yeah.
It's empty.
Yeah.
You go south, you continue going, you don't meet anyone. You go north, you continue going, you meet no one. It's east, west, same. There's nobody. It's a bottomless pit. Endless pit. That's where the devil will be alone for the 1,000 years, waiting for you and I, waiting for the... What happened? Revelation 21. Verse 1.
Verse 1.
Yeah.
And I saw a new heaven.
Right.
And a new earth.
Now, he is now being shown when we know that this beast was not in millennium. And now, next is a new heaven coming. What is it?
And I saw a new heaven.
Yeah.
And a new earth.
Right.
For the first heaven.
Right.
And the first earth were passed away.
Right.
And there was no more sea.
Right.
And I, John,
Right.
saw the holy city.
Now what is he seeing? The holy city there.
New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem.
Coming down from
Coming
God,
back
out of
now
heaven.
from the 1,000 years. Yeah?
Prepared as a bride.
Prepared
adorned for
as
her
a
husband.
bride adorned. You understand? It's the people now coming with God and with the Holy Spirit and Christ. Everyone adorned, coming back where it came from. Where did the people ascend to heaven? From Jerusalem, from the kingdom. Where are they going back? Jerusalem. Where they are there, where they are going to cleave on Mount Olive now. Yeah? And what?
And I, John, saw
I,
the
John.
holy city, New Jerusalem,
Yeah?
coming down from God out of heaven,
Right?
prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right.
And I heard the great voice out of heaven saying,
Right?
Behold, the
Be-
tabernacle of God is with men,
Right.
and he will dwell with them,
Right.
and they shall be his people,
Right.
and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
God shall wipe away all tears. There is no death, no pain, no fear. And they cannot turn by years, for there is no night. Let's hear next.
And God shall wipe away all tears
God
from
shall
their eyes.
wipe away all tears. They have seen everything in the books in heaven for 1,000 years. And they cannot turn by years, for there is no night there.
And there shall be neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto
I
me,
need a verse which says, after 1,000 years. After 1,000 years.
And when the 1,000 years are expired,
Right. When the 1,000 years have finished, we heard Revelation 17 say the beast was not, which is 1,000 years, and shall ascend. Now, we see the beast now ascending, right? Verse 7.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan
Right?
shall be loosed out of his prison.
Right. What has happened? Loosed out. Why? Let's go.
And he shall go out
Right?
to deceive the nations which are in
After
the four
1,000 years, the wicked, all who have been left for 1,000 years dead, will arise. Because now Satan has been given another chance to deceive them. What is he going to deceive them, saying? Let's hear Revelation 17.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, shall Satan be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
There are so many of them. This is the beast coming out of the bottomless pit. Still, the one that we saw going is not, and shall ascend. Now being sensitized by the devil again, because there are many more than the saints. Right? Do you understand?
And they went up out of the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about.
What are they now being told by the devil? The saints are few. Let's go and blot them out. You understand? So they encompass the holy city. Yeah? Uh-huh.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth and encompassed the camp of the saints about. And the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them.
Right. So that's the end of that beast, isn't it? But let's go back to 17. We have a lot of work that we have left there. You understand? Let's go back. Uh-huh. Where you were, that was, is not, it shall ascend. Yeah.
The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
Right.
And go into perdition.
So did you see this beast ascending? They are the people who wake up after millennium. When we come from heaven, they wake up. Those who did not wake up, remember? And those who were killed by the brightness of Christ coming, they now are given another chance to be fooled again, deceived by the devil, to encompass the city. And what? Uh-huh.
The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
Yes.
And go into perdition.
Right.
And
there, where does this beast go? Into perdition. Yeah? Go to Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1.
For behold, the day cometh,
Right?
that shall burn as an oven,
Right.
and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
Did you hear? Revelation told us they will burn. And Malachi saw that day again. That the day come, that the people shall, those who do wickedly shall burn as an oven. Did you hear? So these two prophets are talking of the same day, isn't it? We saw that they are now encompassing the city. Instead, what happens? Fire rains from heaven to destroy them. Yeah? Right? 17. Revelation 17.
Thou sawest was,
Right?
and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
Yeah?
And go into perdition.
So when people see it, they know these people who have woke up, isn't it? But they are not in the holy city. They have not been with us in heaven. Where are they up to? They will see them encompassing the city. But they are not to be scared, because when they have read the prophets, they know these people are, where are they bound to? Perdition. You understand?
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world.
And there are people who worship numbers, isn't it? They will wonder because of numbers. You know, there are people who think something is correct because of numbers, of majority. So it's correct because of majority. You understand? But in the things of God, it's the other way around. Huh? So there are people still who will say, we are so many. There are just a few people in the holy city, Jerusalem. Yeah? So because of their men, they are comfortable. They take comfort in numbers. You understand? But they should, when they wander, they'll be surprised. They are the ones destroyed. Read on.
The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit.
Yeah?
And go into perdition.
Yeah?
And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life.
Only those whose names are not even in the book of life will wonder for those things, isn't it?
When they behold the beast that was,
and
is not,
and yet is.
And here is the mind which has wisdom.
Here is the mind which has wisdom.
The 7 heads.
The 7 heads. Oh, okay.
7 heads.
Okay, put the screen up for me. The 7 heads. Right? The 7 heads there. Yeah.
And here is the mind which has wisdom.
Right.
The 7 heads are 7 mountains.
Right.
On which the woman sitteth.
We saw that one.
And there are 7 kings.
Right. That's where we want now. There are how many? 7 kings.
5 are fallen.
Right.
One is.
And
the other is yet to come.
Right.
And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
Right.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen.
Right. Hang on there. There are 7 kings. Now it's the empires that he's talking about. Yeah? When you go back, we told you that this is a progression of the world. When the world was created, it progressed until the end, isn't it? So there are 7 kings, right? Here before the Babylonian Empire. What was there? What empire was before the Babylonian Empire? The Noatic one. The Noatic, yeah? So we will count the Noatic one as 1. 1, yeah? And the Babylon, 2, 3, the Medo-Persia, 4, the leopard Greece, isn't it? 4. And the Roman, these are 2 in 1, isn't it? Papa, ecclesiastical Rome and Papal Rome. But it's all one beast, yeah? So it's the 5th. Did you see? Now, when it says the mind which is, how many? Read.
5 are fallen. And here,
right?
And there are 7 kings.
7 kings.
5 are fallen.
5 are fallen.
And 1 is.
The Noatic, Babylon, these make 5 which are fallen. Yes. Did you see which are fallen already? 5 are fallen. They already have been exposed. That's what it means. 5 have already been exposed. Are fallen. We know what was happening there. You understand? Yeah. So they are fallen. We have already known. That's why it should be understood at the end. Which have seen all these are fallen. Noatic 1, Babylon 2, 3, 4, Rome 5. Fallen, meaning we now know what transpired. There's nothing sinister there. We now know the history, isn't it? They're fallen. We have known them. You understand? Now, and 5 are fallen, yeah?
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen.
Right?
And 1 is.
Right. This one, the 5th, where we are, the leopard like, is 1 is. Is it our time? Yes. Did you hear the tense? It's present tense. Yes. 1 is. It's our time. And God knew in our time that's when we will understand everything. 1 is. So he has poured the knowledge during our time. 1 is. And what?
And the other is not yet come.
This one is not yet come. It's the what? 7th. Has it started, the 2-word beast? No. The 666, has it started? No. It's not yet come. Yeah? It's easy to tell those who are ready to hop in the clouds. It's not yet come, this one. Is the other one has not come. Do you understand? Yes. Wait a bit. Yeah. Finish here the sealing process, yes, so that you see this one. Amen. Otherwise you'll be subject to the slaughter which in Ezekiel 9. You won't see this one. Yeah? And
when he cometh,
he
must continue a short space.
He just does it in a short space of time. Meaning when they have been sealed, what do we have? After they are sealed, what do we have? We have that one. Yeah. Yes. We have that one. The scarlet. So it means the people in this time, in this one, when he changes everyone, when he completes the sealing 666, they now are in this state. Do you understand? Yes.
And the beast that was and is not.
And this beast which was and is not what?
Even he is the 8th.
Is the 8th.
Amen.
Huh? Yeah. This one becomes the what?
The 8th.
Because this one changed the people to 666 to have that color. And become now the 8th. And what happens to this 8th? Bring the screen down.
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th.
Right, down.
Of the 7th.
Is of the 7th. You remember? Yes. This one is the 7th. Yes. This one is the 6th. Yes. But this one, when he comes, changes people into that one. But that one is of this. Amen. Did you hear that? Huh? Amen.
And the beast that was is not, is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition.
But what is happening to this one who is the 8th, but is of the 7th? But what is he? Goeth in, is the one going to be destroyed when the saints come back from millennium. Is it not straightforward? And what?
And the 10 ones which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no.
Now he's just talking about these 10 kings. Did you see these 10 kings? Because the beast still have 10. But they don't have crowns like these kings, which are there in this. Because at that time, they had not received the kingdom yet. Did you hear as yet? Why? Because with us, they had not received the kingdom. I mean, they had not received the kingdom. When do they receive, right?
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings,
Mm-hmm.
which have received no kingdom as yet,
Mm-hmm.
but receive power as kings 1 hour
With it. Right. So when this one works, that's why we don't see crowns on him. When instead of crowns, what does he have? Image of the first beast. Why? Because the 10 heads also receive power together with him when he makes the image of the beast. Huh? When he starts 666, all of them join in together with whoever will be having church and head state. They all join in. Uh-huh.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings.
Of course, we heard that they receive power as yet together. Yeah? Together. They are about to receive together. But there is a quotation I want you to read, and that quotation, read it very generously. Because it's already happening. Do you want to know where it is? Testimonies for the Church, volume 5, page 451, first paragraph. If you understand that one, then you understand that they receive the power yet. But what are they waiting for? They are waiting for what we are going to read there. What is going to happen? Uh-huh.
By the decree,
right?
enforcing the institution of the papacy in violation of the law of God.
Because what was there? It was this institution. Yes. Right? Uh-huh.
Our nation will disconnect herself fully from righteousness.
Right?
When Protestantism
listen,
shall stretch
people were protesting against this beast in the Dark Ages. Right? But when those who are protesting, we heard that the wound is healed, isn't it? When those protesting, what happens?
When Protestantism shall stretch her hands.
Stretch hands.
Across the gulf.
Across the gulf.
Grasp the hand of the Roman power.
Right?
When she shall reach over the abyss to clasp hands with spiritualism.
Right?
When under the influence of this threefold union.
There is a threefold union.
Our country shall repudiate every principle of its constitution as a Protestant and Republic government. And shall make provision for the propagation of papal falsehoods and delusions. Then we may know that the time has come.
Right.
The marvelous working of Satan, that the end is here.
Right. You read it generously. That's what it says. What happened? We have a threefold union. Yes. The threefold Protestant clasp hands with the laws of the beast. Yeah? And then what next? What's the third one? Spiritualism. Do you see spiritualism coming up? Yes. Do you see people now, and they start with the house of God. There are so many of them now in the house of God. Spiritualism. Huh? That's though they believe something else that is not even in Ellen White's book. Nothing. Something to do with what empowerment of whatever. I don't know. This is spiritualism. When it claps hands with Protestantism and the papal power, and this threefold union will mark the receiving of the 10 horns together at the same time with the beast. Straightforward, isn't it? It's written for us to understand. Huh? But when we see that happening, then we know we are there. Yeah? We know we are there. Huh? If you are uncomfortable, am I saying something that you don't understand? Okay. Let's read Revelation 17. We didn't finish it, did we? Okay, read on now.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet.
Right.
But receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
You see how they receive their power? That threefold union. Right? Uh-huh.
These have one mind.
They will have one mind.
And shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Right?
These shall make war with the Lamb. And the
we
Lamb
saw there, when they come there, when the Lamb come with the saints from millennium, they are making war with the Lamb, isn't it? Uh-huh.
These have one mind,
Right.
and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the lamb, and the lamb shall overcome them.
Right?
For he is Lord of lords,
Lord of
and
lords,
Kings of kings.
King of
And
kings.
they that are with him are called the chosen and the faithful.
Right?
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the war sitteth
Right.
are peoples,
Peoples.
and multitudes,
Multitudes.
and nations and tongues.
Right?
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hatch the war.
Now, at last, the 666 is done. You understand? And the beast is colored. But what will happen to the 10 horns? They will hate this church union state. They will hate it. And what?
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the war, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
They will stop it. They will stop this. They will just disengage. Why? Because they will happen to discover that it was just something that came to create chaos. That's it. But it's too late. But they will entangle it. Right?
For God hath put it in their hearts
Right?
to fulfill his will.
Who has put it in their hearts to do what they are doing? It's God.
And to agree
Yeah.
and give their kingdom unto the beast,
Right?
unto the words of God shall be fulfilled.
Right.
And the woman which thou sawest
Right.
is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Right.
Amen.
That's the end of Revelation 17. How many are ready for the kingdom? Eh? Eh? When the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, oh Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching. Let's continue to read these symbols. These symbols are there for you and I to prepare for the kingdom, prepare for being in heaven. May God bless the study.
Amen.